Hi guys, Kristy from the Salon Spa and Fitness Studio, Exercise Authorities, and Wassa CrossFit here. I have a question it came in by email saying, I need some advice from you. My husband and I eat fast food way too often and we want to cut back, but when we try to eat healthy, we're still starving. Let's say I make a chicken breast and have vegetables. This doesn't fill us up. For me, usually bread on the sub fills me up, but they say bread is not good for you. If you can give me some advice, I would appreciate it. This is one of my favorite questions because people who are eating fast food generally are eating larger quantities than a healthy food eater. And the reason is there's a lot of, again, chemical processes that are going on when we eat our food. Our body is a chemistry lab. What you put in is going to be communicated throughout a variety of body systems, and each of the body systems does something from the chemical response, which is basically your food going into your system. So the fact that a lot of the fast foods are not nutrient dense, meaning they don't have the quality or the density of vitamins, minerals, nutrients, and so forth, because they are, a lot of times, especially in the starches, the buns that are on your burgers and a variety of those other things, are depleted of their nutrients and packed in with fillers and a variety of other things. So they're not actually nourishing us in the way that our bodies need a complete profile of nutrients. So it will trigger a feeling that you're not pacified. So there's a chemical feeling that your body signals more and more and more, and there's an actual physical component to when you're eating bulk quantities, your stomach expands. Now, I would challenge some people, this is maybe my own methodology, is eat more frequently but in less quantity. So, if you know that, let's say you're going to eat fast food and you're not going to change that per se, take whatever you would normally eat and divide it in half. And start there. Now, the number one thing you're going to need to condition yourselves to get through this I'm not full phase is mental strength. You need to tell yourself that you're just going to take these things and divide your portions, and that's all you're going to allow yourself to eat. Ask yourself the question, do you want better health? Do you want a better physique? If the answer is yes, then condition your mind to not take in these larger quantities of food. Your body doesn't need it. If you're slightly overweight or overweight, whatever you think that is for you, your body obviously has resources to be used as fuel. If you were super lean and you didn't have the body fat on, your body would be starving for nutrients and looking for fuel. So a lot of us in this beginning process, when we want to lose some body fat, we can reduce our consumption from our old negative habits. I'm not saying that people who might have a little bit of body fat but they're really healthy eaters need to go and cut everything in half. That's wrong. But if you're eating foods that are not nourishing you, such as fast food and empty calorie sort of foods, such as pastas and things that are really, really calorie dense and have an effect on your insulin and your glucose, that's a different story. So what I would say is gather your mental strength. Write a list. Think of a list. Think of all the reasons why you want to become healthier, and know that your food is 80 to 90% of what your physique is going to take on and what it's going to reflect and look like in your overall health. And find that mental strength to challenge yourself that if you're not going to completely do away with fast food in this first phase of bettering of your life and your health, then reduce the quantity of what you're consuming that is an incorrect food. So I know for me that McDonald's is incorrect and I don't eat it. But if I were that person who was just starting and I didn't have that kind of willpower, I would say decrease your quantity. Condition your stomach to shrink back down, because you might be feeling these I'm not full scenarios because your stomach is used to having larger bulk quantities go through it. So from there, reducing your quantity, I would say measure your water. Just see how much water you're drinking in a day. If you're not drinking enough water, make sure that you pair these meals up perhaps before you eat the meal. Drink a lot of water. Drink a glass of water. Give yourself a good little 8-ounce glass. To me, 8 ounces is little. 12 to 16 is about average glass for me. Drink water before you eat and let it settle in 5 minutes. Then eat. As far as being quantity driven, that's what I would do. I would begin to add more water. There's no excuse not to eat healthy foods. I don't care about cost and all those other things. You can throw every excuse at me in the book. The only excuse is your mind. And believe me, I've known lots of people who are there. So I'm not trying to pin you down as a person and something's wrong with you. But I'm not going to be the cheerleader that's going to say it's okay for you to keep doing this. It's not. You need to condition your mind. And if your mind's not right with it, you're going to continue to do things wrong. So there's a lot of reasons behind the mind why people allow themselves to eat unhealthy and give yourself, excuses as to, well, I can't eat right because I don't feel full. I feel like a chicken breast and some vegetables isn't enough for me. It's more than enough. If you calculate the amount of nutrients that's there and you're eating those types of meals anywhere from 2.5 to 3 hours a day, there's more than enough nutrients there. I know on average, I look at that and I go, wow, that would actually be a lot for me. I eat 7 to 10 times a day. I'm constantly eating, but in small quantities and healthy quantities. I could have a half of a chicken breast and maybe a broccoli floret chopped up that's maybe about this big, as round as I can make my hand. That would be one little meal for me. And then maybe 2 hours. I eat actually a lot of times 1.5 to 2 hours apart because my metabolism's running and I eat healthfully, so I make these things available. I'm not cooking all day. Everybody thinks, oh, you need to be in a kitchen, and no, that's all excuses again. You can cook things, you can bring things, you just have to tell yourself that you're eating for nutrients and not for taste and quantity. Taste and quantity is what gets people into trouble. It's kind of against the laws of nature. I mean, in nature, we would be eating what is available to us at this season, and it's winter time. There wouldn't be a lot available to us. So by laws of nature, we would decrease the amount of food we eat in the wintertime. Our body would be conserving energy. And, even to have a piece of fruit in Wisconsin it's unheard of if we were back into the true laws of nature. We wouldn't be able to get it here in time, and it wouldn't be growing in the middle of winter. So that's getting a little too far off of the point. But the point is your mental willpower is going to tell you that logically speaking, you are full. You don't need any more food at that point. Chicken breast and some vegetables is more than enough for a meal. So as far as your gastric filling and the feeling of full, I would go toward water. Use water as your filler. Drink before you eat. That way you eat less. So there it is. It's mental willpower. It's eating healthfully, and don't create any more excuses as to why you can't, because you can. So if you need specific guidance, I'm always available. It's what I do for a living. You can contact me at Kristy@exerciseauthorities.com. Thanks for watching.